Hi everyone, my name is Chris Martin. Welcome to Keto with me. It is day 56 on my journey back into keto. If you're new to my channel, check out my day 0 video where I cover the reasons why I created this video series. All right, let's roll the clip. That's it for my week 8 clip, day 56 to be specific. So, all right, let's get to the numbers. I've got some pretty exciting news. I lost 2.4 pounds over the course of week 8. That brought my total weight loss for 32.6 pounds. And it puts me at 201.8, which is this close to breaking that 200, which I'm getting very excited about. So, my other numbers, my macro ratios for the week was 75.1 for my fat, 5.7 for my carbs, and 19.3 for my proteins. Now, that's, I only, for my macros and my, like also the carbs and stuff, that is only for the 5 days that I actually ate. So when I did, by the way, I finished my first 72-hour fast, which I mentioned at the end of week 7 because the last 2 days of week 7 was actually part of the 72-hour fast, and I finished it on the first day of week 8. So, so I don't really, I don't average 7 days on those. That's a 5-day average technically for that. So my carbs for that was 16.6, which is really good. I'm staying under 20. My average blood glucose for the week was 73, and that's for all 7 days. Ketones were 2.4, my Dr. Boz ratio was at 30, and then my GKI, which is 1.7. So it was, like I said, a really good week. I got in a 72-hour fast. I also got, in addition to that, I had some really good fasting days, good weight loss, headed right towards where I want to go. My food for the week, if you looked at the clip, I had Chipotle. The kids love to get Chipotle, so we try to do that like every couple of weeks. I had a taco salad with chorizo and some taco meat. That was delicious. Also some chicken. And then I had steak and shrimp on one of the days. So overall, it was a really enjoyable week. I'm still enjoying where I'm at with keto and fasting, and I'm starting another 72-hour fast for week 8, and then I'm going to continue that until I get 8 72-hour fasts. So that's it for my clip for week 8. Let's talk about my goals. All right, let's talk about my week 8 goals here. So as you remember, I introduced a 7-day spreadsheet last week. So you can see on here, I got days 50 to day 56. I've got a lot of averages. And this is kind of like my big picture for the week, and this is where I'm living at right now. So you see I have an average sleep of 7.4, which is fantastic. I'm starting to notice myself dreaming a lot more, so that's really good. So I'm doing really good on the sleep. Fasting, I live in the 1 meal a day, so you'll see average fast of like 24, 23, 25, and so forth. And then I showed a 48 on here at the end of the week, but really that's the beginning of the 72 that blends over into to the next week. So, so 27.8, so I'm really just, I'm trying to do like regular fast and then a long fast. So my style, I'm always aiming for clean as much as I can possibly get, but things happen and sometimes you have to throw in a little dirty. But if you're trying to get processed or packaged stuff, just remember, try to make sure it's smaller ingredients, and and it can still be organic and grass-fed and all these other things. So I'm doing really good. I kept myself in beast mode. Right now I'm just nailed it for the whole week. My macros, this is just basically the carbs. I should just rename that column carbs, but my my carbs for the week average was 16.6. Again, that was over 5 days for that particular part. And then my macro percents, which I mentioned in my daily clip, was 75, 6, and 19. So doing really good at maintaining that. This week I watched 2 videos for my learning category. I felt like I stayed in beast mode for that. I'm going to share a video for the video recommendation here shortly. Tracking, I'm always, like I said, I've, just detailed tracking. I think it's been one of the things that's made me so successful, this go around for keto. I track in, chronometer, I track here, and then, I do a little bit of, actually, that's it. So meditation, relaxation. I haven't really done any long meditations or anything. I've just been doing a couple a day, just taking time, chill, relax, and stuff like that. So lastly, still not throwing really any exercise in. I know a few weeks back I did some P90X3 yoga. That's about all of it. I do have yard work planned, because it's the spring. And then, once I get through the vast majority of the 72-hour fast that I want to do, I'm going to throw in some, actually start to do the, the P90X3 journey like I had done before and enjoyed so much. So that's it for my goals. So let's go ahead and take a look at my video recommendation. All right, let's talk about the video recommendation for week 8. This one's kind of a long one. It's one from Dr. Boz, and it's about 1 hour and 2 minutes. Yeah, there's extra fluff in there that probably, if you just kind of condensed it down, it would be maybe 40 minutes or 30 minutes or something like that. It's one of her live streams, so there's a lot, there's questions being asked. She does a lot of, hey, shout out to people and blah, blah, blah. Like I said, there's some, some extra fluff in it, but I'll tell you why, first of all, the video name is called High Blood Sugar on Keto, Can Keto Reverse Diabetes. And, she's, in this particular video, she's specifically talking about type 2 diabetes and how this came about me, going and watching a 1-hour video, because I like to try to find these smaller bite-sized ones for you guys and just kind of, hey, this is, I think, a good learning thing for you. I had a buddy, I hadn't seen my buddy in 2 years, one of the guys I used to work with a lot, and we had lunch, and he's a type 2 diabetic. He had pretty high, not as high as the. Just so you know, she does a case study review in here, where she, some guy submitted, I think his name is Jerry, and he's like, here's where I'm at, here's what I'm doing, and here's how I'm doing on keto. Can I stop taking my insulin? I think is kind of one of the questions. And, so anyway, my buddy, his numbers weren't, I don't think, as high as this guy's, but now my buddy has this controlled controlled A1C, under 7. He's doing good. He's been like that for a year, but he still has some other minor symptoms of diabetes. And, we got to talking, and he was like, well, and I'm first of all, I want you guys to know, I'm never going to preach medical advice. I'm not going to tell you that, oh yeah, you should stop taking your insulin and no, never. This is an area that, I'm not necessarily comfortable in, but my buddy asked me, so I went out and, reviewed a video, and I sent him the link, and I said, I think this one's a good one to start with, and, she brings up that this, Jerry, case, this person was like, he's getting really good, starting to get pretty good fasting, glucose numbers in the morning, this, that, and another, and he's basically just asking her, can I cut back on my insulin? And she says, you know, that first of all, you know, you can't just base it off of that. That's, you know, you have to, your A1C is a representation of your, you know, insulin over a period of time, whereas like those little glucose numbers that you record, you know, looking at every day like I do is just that one day. So the, you know, the amount of insulin you come down and all that really has a lot to do with that. And pointedly, she just said, look, write down these numbers, go to your doctor, show them to your doctor, they'll know what to do. So, and then she said, and if the doctor has any questions, you know, just tell them to reach out to her or whatever, and something like that. So I just thought it was a very, very cool, cool set of numbers. Now, this Jerry guy is not doing like any kind of level of fasting yet. He's obviously doing well because I think he's like in his 60s too, which is super impressive too. He's lost a bunch of weight. He's, you know, improved all this other stuff. You know, and he's really just trying to get to the next level. But, you know, I would also be very, you know, apprehensive if I were him, you know, just like, hey, let's stop taking this. That's like me. I mentioned to you guys, I take, you know, blood pressure and a thyroid. I'm not going to stop taking those just on my own. I'm going to share them with my doctor. And my doctor is keto friendly, because the first time I did it, he was like, yeah, that, you know, if it's working for you, do that. He never once come back and said, you shouldn't be doing keto, you know. He just said, let's watch everything and make sure everything's going good. So that's the video I got. It's, like I said, pretty lengthy. It's a live stream that, you know, she recorded. So I said there's a lot of extra little fluff with shout outs and things like that. But I think it's a good video, especially if you're a type 2 diabetic and you understand all the stuff that they're saying. Like I said, I have a cursory understanding of it, but it was enough for me to send to my buddy, and he sent back and said, all right, I'll watch it tonight. And the next day he was like, yeah, I found this very helpful. This gives me some information. What's interesting is, well, I'll leave on this, is that when we were at lunch, you know, I was fasting at the time, but, you know, what he ordered, I looked right at it and I was like, man, that's like a perfect keto meal. You're already doing some level of keto. I mean, he had an omelet with some meat and cheese, and he did get a side of green beans. But, you know, it was all good, right? Because even I eat green beans. You know, we talked about the vegetables and stuff before. So, I hope this, you know, helps you out. It helped my buddy out, and I'm kind of anxious to see where he goes, like if he really wants to try to do more keto and things like that. And his wife is kind of running through some, you know, issues right now too, with retinopathy and some other, you know, diabetes related type of stuff. So that's it for my video recommendation. All right, that's it for day 56, folks. Thanks for watching today's video. Please take time to like and subscribe so you can keto with me. As always, if you got any comments or questions, please leave them down below. Just remember, none of us are perfect. Be a coach, not a critic, and take care.